Hey, welcome to another episode of Auburn All the Time. I'm here with my main man, Mr. Auburn football himself, Mr. Bruce Howard, and I'm your boy Rod Stevens. Man, look, we got a jam-packed week coming up. This is the week one of college football. And hey, listen, man, we want to send a shout out to y'all for viewing. Our shout outs to our guests last week, both Starkey from Average Joe's Sports Talk. And we had cornerback of Gaston City High School, Mr. Zion Gibson, a junior four-star recruit right now. So, man, we're so appreciative of having those gentlemen on our show. And without further ado, this is week one, and we'll take it as we go. Far as we'll be like week one preview. This is an Auburn show, so we'll highlight Auburn. We Alabama A&M is coming to Auburn.
Right.
I think it's a 6:30 game, so it is a nighttime game. So after everything is said and done during the daytime with the other big games going on, we'll get to enjoy a little Auburn football. So I'll pass it over to you, Bruce, and just give me what you think about Saturday.
Man, the main thing we just want to see is probably the freshman receivers and just the receiving core overall, because we don't have but two receivers left over from last year. That's Burton and number 4. But it's like, man, just the main thing, we know pretty much what's going to happen with the A&M game. It's just the main thing is you want to stay healthy. But I think really they need to go out and just really throw the ball. That was our struggle last year, only throwing for a little over 100-something yards per game. We was towards dead last in the conference, and why not? This I can remember, under Gus Malzahn, he would take a team like Alabama A&M and just constantly just run the ball, and don't work on no passing game. And then when you play against a team where you got to pass the ball, you haven't done it, and here you go. So why not? I would say a good number this game. I think they need to have around, I don't know, maybe 600 yards of offense. I would say 350 in the air and 250 on the ground. Keep some kind of balance, but the main thing, get throwing some confidence, get them new receivers some confidence. I mean, a game like this, you can pretty much do what you want to do, which I know they'll rotate a lot of guys. You want to stay fresh, you want to stay healthy. It's going to be hot, too, this early in the year. But that's what I'm looking for. What, in your opinion, what do you think would be a good numbers from a balanced standpoint from run and pass?
I agree with you. 350, 250, somewhere around there. I would definitely love to see the ball aired out, and let just let the game, come to you in regards to that, passing out. Try out some stuff, man, and let's get Thorne geared up and going for to because really the next week is going to be a little tougher.
Yeah.
And things are going to progress as we go. So let's go ahead and just put it out there. Put it in the air and mix your running, because we know that the run is going to be there, especially against this team, this opponent that we got this week. And it's no slight to them, but we know we got ahead of us in regards to them, which I'm excited that the fact that we get to play a team like this, in-state, HBCU. You know how big I am on HBCUs, and I like that they have this opportunity to play against Auburn University. But I pretty much echo everything that you say. With Peyton Thorne, I'm just waiting to see the development, man. Or not necessarily development, just the level of comfort. And I'm gonna be honest with you, if he goes out there and we see something similar to last year, the decision making, things, overthrowing people and just not the accuracy, I'm gonna have some questions, and I'm gonna have a lot of doubts moving forward. But the talk, I feel like that things are going to shape up, and this will be a game that you really see him spin the ball out there. And so, I'll move on. Defensively, I don't think we'll have a problem. But I did see that Alabama got some basketball players for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, they got some tall guys, man. I think one at 6'5" and one at 6'9" or something like that. But I don't think that's going to be
Right.
a problem, with our defensive front and linebacker core.
Right.
And you mentioned not the wide receivers, but the cornerbacks that we have. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. But what you think about the defensive side of the ball?
Man,
In
really,
regards to this game.
really rotate a lot of guys up front.
Yeah.
Get the freshmen involved. Like, I don't know, like Amaris Williams.
Mm-hmm.
He's the 5-star defensive end from North Carolina. He's been looking good in camp. Jamonte Waller, and I know we basically got 2 new stars on the defensive up front on defensive attack. You got Philip Belidi from Indiana. You got Isaiah Rakes that was at Texas A&M. He went to USC. He stayed there for a minute. Then he's back at Auburn now. But man, really, I think they can probably rotate maybe 6 guys on the inside, and you know what you got on the rush ends with Keldrick Falk and Jalen McLeod. So the main thing is the one thing about our defense this year, we got a veteran linebacker core. We got a lot of bodies up front, but we do have young cornerbacks this year.
Yeah.
And there's a chance Scott might not even play. He's got a hamstring situation. They just kind of taking it slow with him. But man, really, Kayan Lee, let me see. I would say him, lock him down one side, and probably, man, just really rotating a lot of guys like J.C. Hart, the freshman Jay Crawford. Just this is a good test. Just go ahead and get these guys implemented to the system. And really, I'm not even necessarily worried about the score. I'm more worried about, are they prepared to play?
Right.
Just stuff like that. Because if they score 50, 60 points, it really don't matter. Main thing is execution, having desire, want to play, and no matter who the opponent is, they should be. It's at night. The atmosphere at night, regardless, it's a sellout too. But the main thing is, I just want to see execution and mainly, hopefully, injury-free. And play a lot of guys.
And I'll add something to that. I mean, which you're alluding to it while you're saying execution and stuff. I want to see a clean game. That tells me a lot, especially when you're playing an opponent like this.
Right.
That tells you where the team's mindset is if on execution.
Yeah.
If you're playing a clean game, the cleanliness of the game really dictates a lot of things, and going forward, as to what we're going to see, and really the focus level because you and I know. I mean, we've been in situations where we've probably taken an opponent lightly, just because of a name or brand or whatever, what have you. But when you come out and execute and do what you're supposed to do, and get some other guys some opportunities to snap the ball or run plays or whatever, that speaks volumes going ahead and moving forward in this football season, and it tells you about the focus level of the team in regards to the cleanliness of the ball game.
Yeah,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Speaking of Thorne, I would say he had his best passing game, 300 yards last year against Samford, and I can see something similar to this game. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And of course, he's actually, if you look at the numbers last year, he probably ran the ball efficiency-wise better than he threw it, which was kind of crazy. But I think they're running basically a true RPO offense this year. So hopefully, really they don't even need to really run him this game. The main thing is this. To me, it's just all the timing, the execution, the passing game. Everybody's excited to see Cam Coleman, Perry Thompson, Malcolm Simmons, Bryce Kane, Lambert Smith to transfer. Stuff like that. But really, there's not really a whole lot to talk about because you pretty much know the outcome. It's just the point of how do we get to the outcome. So with that being said,
go ahead.
With that being said, let's just say, what would be in your mind, what would be a respectable score in this game?
Well, speaking of, you said the outcome. We know what the outcome is. The line right now, I think, is set at 47.5.
Right.
The last time I checked, I think it opened at 50 something, but it is recently dropped. But I have and I just feel like things are gonna turn around. It's gonna be because of quarterback play. I feel like we're gonna see a 21-0 first quarter.
Okay.
I honestly do, if not more.
Could be.
I think the game will definitely be over in the first half. And with that being said, I got the score 59-7.
Oh man. Man, I ain't even really gonna dive deep into that. I had it 56-7.
So 3 points off.
So either way, but I'll take it. Either way.
You know how we do. We don't ever discuss anything before we start a show or even through the week. You know what I'm saying? So like you always say, one of your favorite phrases, great minds think alike.
There you go.
So moving forward, man, it is a jam-packed
week one.
Week one, man. I'm excited about it.
This might be one of the better week ones that I've seen in a while. We're doing this on Wednesday.
Yeah.
We're doing this on Wednesday night, so you know what we got tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So,
we
got my shirt on,
and
man, this is not my team, but I thought about it. I
you
have to wear
enough shirts for it to seem like your
The
team.
reason why I wore this because I'm missing somebody.
Okay.
I'm missing Colton Hood, one of our young defensive back that transferred to Colorado. So I'm supporting him. Okay. And I miss him because he would have been in the rotation. He probably would have been the third cornerback. But one man leaves, another man steps up. But I'm pulling for him and the reason I think he's at Colorado because they offered his brother Brandon, who is a running back, who was a solid player in high school, but he tore his ACL. Yeah. And so, but they stuck with him, and man, I'm pulling for him, but I'm not sure about Colorado tomorrow night in the game, though. I think they'll win, but they got North Dakota State. In North Dakota State, they got a championship pedigree, and they've been wanting to play one of these type teams to show how they stack up against them. They do. I like Colorado to win, but I actually think it's going to be a fourth quarter game. What you think?
What's the line on that game?
Man, I have no idea. To be honest with you, I would say it's around 13 or 14.
Let me say this.
Okay.
Is North Dakota State, are they still AA, Division I AA, or are they coming into the single A ring?
I think they're single A now. Okay.
Kind of reminds you of that old Appalachian State.
Yeah.
And what was it, Michigan?
Michigan.
Kind of gives you that feeling that it could go that way.
Right.
And I agree with you. Right. I think it's gonna be a 3-point squeaker. For Colorado. Right. But listen, this team, when you build a championship pedigree team like this team here is, that's something that you can't take away. You cannot overlook that, man. You cannot overlook what the heart of a champion or that type of stuff, man. So I see it, playing out. Now, if it mess around and get out of hand in the first quarter, then so be it. But they've been itching to prove themselves. Yeah. And so when you got somebody that comes in the fight with nothing to lose for real, you know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. And so I wouldn't put anything past North Dakota State, taking out Colorado. That's just my opinion. Right. And there's stories and stuff, and it'll be a story about Prime, and all that stuff. So of course, everybody wants to see that, but I still feel like Colorado will pull this one out, if not by 3, by 10.
I would say the biggest thing you want to see from Colorado is they got to get better play on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Because Shadir got hit way too much. He got sacked more than anybody in the country. Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, I think we both got Colorado, but we both think it'll be a tight game.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll move on to, like I said, we got several games coming up. One game that intrigues me is a state battle. And you know where I'm going. Miami and Florida. Right. I think, to be honest with you, I don't think it's a players game. I think this is a coach's game because these two coaches,
whoever loses, the seat's already warm.
The seat is warm, so this is a seat game. Right. For these coaches, I mean, you got Billy Napier and Mario Cristobal, which these these coaches, I mean, their names have been big in the media for years.
Right.
And, you know, now that they're at these prominent schools or these high-powered schools, they need to start showing us something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or why they got the job.
Right.
And it's unfortunate that both of them got to start out like this, but
Right.
somebody got to lose.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm wondering how, you know, if you do lose, how do you lose? Is it a you know, a walk-off field goal, or, you know, a walk-off TD 1-point game or something
Right.
like that? And, you know, but the seat don't be hot.
Yeah, either
The
way.
seat is hot right now, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's pressure on both of these coaches, man.
Man, I would think really that it's gonna come down to quarterback play.
Mhm.
They got Cam Ward at Miami to transfer,
Yeah.
which I know Auburn looked at. But of course, Florida's quarterback over Graham works.
Yeah.
He's not bad. But Florida's at home. Miami's a 3-point favorite. Man, I really don't even know, because I'm sort of like with Miami. I've been hearing them, you know, that we're back. You know, I've been hearing that for years,
Mhm.
and I want to believe. You know what I'm saying? He's recruited well,
I do too.
and it's a reason why Florida's got the hardest schedule in the nation. Most people seem to think they're only going to win 4 or 5 games anyway, and if that's the case, this is going to be it for Napier. But I got a feeling with it being at home, they know his back against the wall. I think they're going to come out playing for him. But with that being said, I like Miami. I think from top to bottom, I think Miami's got better players than Florida.
Yeah,
It's close,
Yeah.
but I mean, home field advantage, SEC. It's not a night game; it's a 2:30 game, so that's not really. It's gonna be hot, and it's for both teams. I would say it's so hard to tell, because week 1 is almost week 0, and week 1 is the 2 hardest weeks to really pick, because you can think all you want. You know, you can go by what happened last year, but until you actually see these teams play,
Right.
it's basically a gut feel for the most part. You know, I would say, me personally, I like Miami. I got them. I like Miami. Close game, 4-quarter game. I actually like Miami to cover, and I got them winning 28-24.
Okay.
That's
So
what.
what's
That's
the
just a
line?
gut feel. 3.
3.
Miami by 3.
Well, I pick Miami. I'm not gonna pick a score, because
Right. I mean, it's so
to
hard.
me, that's just gonna be, you know, if I'm picking a score, I'm just, you know, it's for,
Yeah.
you know, for fun.
Oh, just
but
fun.
I agree with you.
Yeah. So
I don't know if they're gonna cover. I mean, it's a 3-point game. I can see this being a 1-point game at the end.
probably,
And,
if you know the
Because
truth
some
about
idiot
it.
gonna go for 2 points. Or
Yeah,
something.
or it could be the truth about it. You might look at a push, 27-24. That
Yeah.
way, just don't
Yeah,
touch it at
yeah,
all.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
24-21,
Yeah.
31-28, something like that.
Yeah.
But
But regardless,
yeah,
from what I said in the beginning, the seat is hot.
Either
for
way.
both of these coaches.
it's basically, to me, it's almost like loser leave town game.
Yeah.
The loser. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and then on top of that, it's an old rivalry.
Yeah.
So you know, it's got all the makings. You
Oh,
know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So, what you think about Georgia and Clemson?
Man, I tell you, I've been thinking about it. In Clemson, for the last, I would say, the last 2 years, they haven't been the Clemson of old. They've taken a step back offensively, for sure.
Right.
But I looked at that line, and I know the game's in Atlanta. Supposed to be a neutral site. It's not. It favors Georgia.
Oh, no.
The tickets are split down the middle, which is good. But still, that don't matter.
Yeah,
The one thing I do,
Mercedes-Benz, it's
Yeah.
always Georgia advantage.
I would say, though, I think the line's a little high. The last I looked, it was like 13.5.
I thought it was more than that. I
Right.
might have been looking at another one because I knew it was a 2-touchdown
Oh yeah.
favorite.
So let's just say the line's 14.
14.
Let's just say it's 14. If it's 14, anywhere around 13.5, 14, I think it's a little too high.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why I think it's a little high.
Okay.
And believe it or not, I mean, we really hadn't talked about Clemson in the last, like you said,
Yeah.
few years. But that team is still loaded with talent.
He's bringing in top 5 to 8
Without the
classes.
transfer portal,
You don't
y'all.
believe in the transfer portal.
Without the transfer portal, this man is still bringing in top 5, top 10 talent in the nation. And don't get it twisted. What you usually say, don't kid yourself.
Yeah.
This is a talented
Oh, yeah.
team, y'all. And I don't agree with the line as well.
Right.
I can see it being a 6 or 7 point game. But Georgia does return supposedly the best quarterback in the nation. We'll see about that. I have no problem. I'm saying, hey, he on paper right now he looks like the best quarterback in the nation. But and they're gonna have a defense, but I'm not gonna count Clemson out. I'm not gonna give Georgia 14 points over Clemson in the first game. Now, if this was maybe the last game of the season or something, and Georgia's undefeated and Clemson done lost 2 games, then I'd be like, yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Right.
But nah, not the first game, man. So you done with that game, or you want to talk about some more of that game?
So I would say, so you got, you got Georgia winning.
I got Georgia winning.
But you got Clemson covering.
I got Georgia winning because of home field advantage.
Right. Well, I was
basically home field advantage, and I do have Clemson covering. Yeah. I don't. If it's 13.5, like you say,
right.
Which I haven't. I believe you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I believe Clemson covers, man. Without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, that's just in my heart right now.
Well, I think Clemson has a couple of things going for them, and one is no more Brock Bowers.
Yep.
No more Lad McConkey, whatever his name is, however you say his last name.
Yeah, that's it.
But I'm like, and Georgia.
And then they ain't got DJ no more.
No, that's true.
That's gonna help out.
Right.
We see what he doing at Florida State. So
man,
you done moved to a new house and it still looks the same.
But they do got Clay Klubnik, which he's sort of been their version of how Auburn treated Bo Nix in a sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hate to say it that way, but I like Georgia to win the game. I'm with you. I like Clemson to cover. I would say score wise for me, I'm thinking 31-24. 31-24.
7 points.
Yeah, so that's what I'm with on that. Mm-hmm. And one of the games I'm very, very intrigued with is Notre Dame at Texas A&M. Mm-hmm. And I'm a big Marcus Freeman guy for Notre Dame. I like the way he runs his program. But as much as I like Freeman at Notre Dame, I hate to say it, we're taking his top recruit from the quarterback, Deuce Knight from Mississippi. I hate that for him.
Name of the game.
But that's the name of the game. But with that being said, I know this is Mike Elko's first game at A&M, coming from Duke, and it just so happens how karma or however life just works itself out. His first game at A&M is against his former quarterback, Riley Leonard, from Duke, where he was at, which Riley Leonard should be at Auburn right now, but that's a whole nother story for another time. But man, what you thinking on that one?
Well. And with these two teams, okay, many have Texas A&M being in the 12-team playoff.
Yeah,
I don't see it. Listening.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm getting to. Talent wise,
they still have a lot. They don't have as much as they. I think they've taken a step back because of what's gone.
Well, that's true, but I still think talent. They got the talent.
They got talent.
But they got a dog of a schedule to get through. So, I mean, that's what's going to kick them out, in my opinion.
Right.
Because I don't think you can go through that. I mean, they even with the Texas game, they renewing that rival.
Right. That's
going to be, unless Texas A&M come out and show us something that we ain't seen, ever. I'll tell you one thing.
Right.
If Notre Dame win this game, they will be in the 12-team playoff.
Think so?
I can about sit here and guarantee it just from looking at that schedule.
I want to see. I got Notre Dame winning the game, but I want to see what Riley Leonard looks like coming off that injury. He's had 2 surgeries on that injury.
Right.
But before he got hurt, he was playing about as good as anybody in the country before he got hurt.
But like I said, if Notre Dame wins this game, just from their schedule,
right.
I don't even see SC being a problem for them this year. If they win this ball game,
right?
To me, I'll be honest with you, they have to win this ball game to get the 12-team playoff. Because looking at their schedule, unless SC is SC of old, which we ain't finna see that this year, man. Because Lincoln Riley is not fixing to bring in somebody that's gonna build him a defense worth anything. He done it at Oklahoma, and that's a whole nother story.
Right.
Which SC plays LSU Sunday
in Las Vegas.
and yeah, so we'll see about that. But anyway, going back to, I feel like Notre Dame has to win this football game in order to be even considered for the 12-team playoffs, because it'll mess around and be another Florida State issue.
Right.
And it could, well, with it being this many teams, we're probably not going to have the issue again.
Right.
I don't see us having no 13 undefeated teams or whatever.
No.
This go round in football. But, with their schedule, they have to win this game. And Texas A&M has to go 8-4.
Right.
Or somewhere around there for it to be relevant.
Well, the thing in Notre Dame, so reality check for them, they could go undefeated this year. And the highest they will be seeded in the playoff is 5 because of not being in a
exactly, and that's what I was alluding to, because
right.
even with an undefeated record,
right.
you're not gonna get the number 1 seed just because of the simple fact that you're not in a conference and your schedule is not, an appealing schedule in the eyes of everybody else.
I don't even really know. I've seen their schedule. I've glanced at it, but typically for Notre Dame, you'll have your Boston College on the schedule, your Army or your Navy, stuff like that.
Apparently, I think they do play all the service academies.
That's what they do. That's what they do. So, yeah.
But with the Army, Navy, Air Force, and
yeah.
I don't know if they even got a National Guard team. I don't know. But anyway, man.
Let's touch on one last game.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's just take a real quick talk about
the other team,
USC and LSU.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I see
a lot of points being scored.
There you go.
I think the line is like 3, maybe 4 for LSU.
What's the total?
I don't know, but whatever it is, take the over. I don't care what it is. Take it over. Take it over.
So how you think LSU gonna look without Jaden this year?
Well, the guy that's played behind him. Yeah. When he's played,
he waited.
He waited his turn.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. He can throw the ball down the field. I just wonder.
Nussmeyer.
Yeah,
Nussmeyer.
But they did lose Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
And what's his name? The other receiver, Brian Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
They lost both them receivers, but LSU's LSU. They always gonna have receivers. They always gonna have defensive backs, and it's a good thing they got defensive backs because the defensive front is awful.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't. But the only thing I will say about LSU's defense, everybody knows they got at least one player. Everybody knows that's Harold Perkins.
Yeah, Harold Perkins.
He can get after it. But I've been watching football a long time, and then that defense that LSU put on the field last year, the worst I've ever seen. And that same conversation, you had that same conversation about USC under Lincoln Riley too. So
yeah, is Harold Perkins gonna be able to rush the quarterback?
What position?
Is he gonna stay in coverage?
Yeah. How they gonna use him?
Yeah. What is he gonna do?
I don't think they know.
Well, I got another question for you.
All right.
And it's in regards to this game.
Right.
Well, really LSU.
Right.
Some
people have them going to the playoffs. They lose this game? With the strength of the SEC schedule? I don't see it. I don't see it anyway, but
I've heard some people say that LSU can squeak in with a 9-3 record.
Don't know about that.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
But you know how the SEC is,
right.
And we love to have 4 or 5 teams in this new playoff format.
Right.
But my question is this a make or break season for Brian Kelly? Or do you think he got 1 or 2 more left?
1 or 2 more. If they go 6-6 or 7-5, we'll have a conversation. But they'll win. I think they'll win 8 or 9 games. I think they'll win. I think they go like 9-3. And I think they'll be on the outside looking in for the playoffs. I think they'll be in the conversation. I just don't think they'll get in. But 9-3, he's safe. There are some questions about him. They're not a big NIL team, and he don't believe in it.
But
to be honest with you. And they got money.
And
so.
Bruce, I don't normally question you, man, but this year, how can you be safe with a 9-3 record? And
Not
this
make the
is a 10 win just
yeah.
a 10 win team, yearly. You know what I'm
you
saying?
gotta look at though. I mean, we know Nussmeier can play, but look at what they lost.
That's true.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, is it really were you gonna be able to replace all them guys? I mean, I don't know. I know they had a top 7, 8 recruiting class like they always do. They're top 10, but I just don't know, man. I don't know. But to me, their fans are already questioning because of what's going on the defensive side of the ball. He already fired his coordinator, bring in another coordinator just like that. And if I would say that seat will be hot if that side of the ball don't show improvement.
Right.
To me, it's more so about what direction is the program going compared to record. You know what I mean? Because think about him. One thing about Brian Kelly, I will say about him, I don't care for him, to be honest with you. He's not my style of coach. But you can't deny he wins everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
From Cincinnati, whatever.
Yeah.
He wins everywhere he goes. And he's got to be doing something right.
That's true.
He knows how to coach. Especially on the offensive side of the ball. They know under Brian Kelly, if you notice, they have a good reputation of developing quarterbacks too. So he's got that going for him.
Yeah.
So I tell you what, man, I would love to end the show this way this week. As of today, it could change. We could have this conversation again in a couple of weeks. But as of today, since we're Auburn, we're in the SEC. I mean, we're all SEC. That's mostly the teams we talk about is all SEC teams. I don't think Auburn will make the SEC championship game this year. I don't see it this year. I think in the future we'll have that conversation. But as of today, who would you think would be the 2 teams playing for the SEC championship at the end of the season?
Georgia and Texas.
Okay. I'm gonna be a little different. I'm with you, but I hate to say this. If I had to pick today, I would say Alabama and Ole Miss. Because the reason why I'm saying that, I think Georgia, as good as they are, I don't think they're gonna win in Tuscaloosa. And I think that's gonna cost them. I got both of them having a loss in the regular season. I got both of them, 11-1, 12, whatever. I got both of them having one loss, and Alabama had the tiebreaker because
they beat them
head up. Yeah. And so just like I actually got Ole Miss only losing one game too. You know the game I got them losing at home against Georgia. So that's just, it could change. It's still, we haven't seen these teams yet, but this is just a gut feel. Ole Miss has never made it to the SEC championship game.
No, they haven't.
They haven't. And to me, it's SEC. I'm not necessarily. If he don't make the SEC title game, that's fine. With what they put out in the transfer portal, what they spend on, playoffs are bust for them.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing. That's the one thing about Kiffin, that there's pressure on him. Yeah. He has to produce. They got to make the playoffs, and he's 1 foot away from, if the wheels fall off at Florida, taking that Florida job. So, and he wants that. Could you imagine him going out, making the playoffs, and whatever happens from there, then catapulting himself to that Florida job? I can easily see that happening. But he's so unpredictable.
Yeah.
But that's, as of today, like I said, I got Ole Miss and Alabama. That's crazy to say. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not necessarily sold on Texas because of the injuries already.
That's true.
That's the one thing that bothers me. And even Quinn Ewers, I know they got Manning behind him. He's been injured every year as a starter at some point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So with that being said, man, that's it could change on a week. I gotta see these teams for a couple weeks first. That's just a gut feel. Yeah. Gut feel.
Yeah. And it's here though, so we finna get
we finally we really don't know. And it's like, I'm with you, Freeze. He said, really, you can feel good about your team, but you really don't know what you got till week 2, week 3. You got to go out and play first to really know what kind of chemistry you got. Same page. Got to stay healthy. Especially now, you got to think about it. With everything that's going on now, if you win a certain amount of games, you can play 15, 16, 17 games this year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So managing your roster, staying healthy is probably one of the most critical things you can do.
One of the most. Yeah.
So, that being said, man, it's here. So we can just move forward now and we really starting next week. We really got something to talk about.
Hey man, listen, as always, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Click the little bell button to get the notifications when we hit. And listen, man, we'll bring back all the little bells and whistles next week. The little tickles and all that stuff and the names and stuff. Like once again, man, I want to appreciate our special guest we had last week, Zion Gibson, Gaston City High School cornerback, and Bo Starkey from Average Joe's Sports Talk. Hey man, y'all check them out on their personal platforms or their platforms that they have. And man, once again, it's been a great show and time flies. We've been having fun, man.
Yeah, man.
So listen, week 1 is here. Y'all be safe out there, man. COVID is still alive. You know, I'm a nurse by profession, and so I do, tell you, protect yourselves and be careful. And it's still real. But anyway, man, I hope y'all have an awesome weekend and be safe, of course, and enjoy some football, man. It is here, and I mean that's all I got.
That's it, man. Until next week, War Eagle.
War Eagle.